Hello, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will learn about levels and grids. Levels and grids are the backbone of every Revit model. If they are wrong, your entire project will become a mess. So to understand levels and grids, let me come to the definition of levels and grids. So, first of all, what are levels? Levels represent horizontal plane in a building, such as floor level, slab levels, or roof levels. If we go to one of the views, you'll see these are levels, which denotes your building heights, wall heights, floor placement, ceiling levels. Also, level is helpful for view creation. By default, in the template, we have two levels, level 0 and level 1. If you want to make more levels, you can either copy this level and place to the desired elevation. Now you will see instantly the difference that this level has blue boxes, but the level which we have just created has black. The reason is because these two levels have at least one floor plan, but the new created level does not host any floor plans. So if we go to view and we say we wants to make a plan view out of this, then we go to one of the plans, we go to floor plan. So we are creating a level 2 plan, and once I hit OK to create a level 2 plan, it will going to make it blue because this blue indicates a link. So if I click OK, it has generated a view and the color of the level is blue now. So if we double click onto this, it will take to the default level 2 view. Now we go to one of the plans and we'll try to understand grids. So grids are reference lines used for alignment and coordination. They help position column, walls, and structural elements. For grids, they are datum element and can be found into the datum location, grids, and levels. So to create a grid, we'll just take the grid command. We draw one, and for the further, either you draw or you can copy the grids. Once you draw a grid and you rename it, suppose we are taking the vertical ones in numbers and we are taking the horizontal ones in alphabet. So if I write it A, Revit will automatically understand that next will be B and so on. Now, if we go to any of the elevations, you will find your levels and grids are not perfectly intersecting. So you can pick one of the levels and you see this dotted line and this 3D wording which says that if you'll drag one of the levels, you will move all the levels in all the views. So if I pick one of the level and drag and adjust it perfectly to our grids, this we have done from one side. And if we go to another elevation, you will find there is still some issues with the other direction grids and levels. So to adjust the extent, we'll modify the levels here also. Now, if you will go to any of the views, you will find your levels and grids are perfectly aligned. Sometimes what happens is your grids are not visible in some of the plan views. Let us see those errors. So let us create one more level. So we have created a level 3. Let's create a plan for it. But you see, in the level 3 plan, you are not able to see the grids. The reason is your grids are not reaching up to your level 3, or you can say they are not intersecting the level 3. So you will drag the grids so that they are intersecting with level 3. So if we go to level 3, you will be able to see the numeric grids in level 3 plan. But as we have not made any changes to the alphabet grids, they will still be hidden. So you see, we are only able to see the number grids. Let us go to one of the plan which shows the alphabetical grids, and if we pick them and if we drag them so that they are intersecting the level 3, we will be able to see the grids. What common mistakes we do while creating levels and grids is we don't create the grids in a consistent order. Let's suppose we need one more grid, grid E, and I draw that grid from left to right. All the grids are done to have the bubbles on the left and top, but the grid E has a different choice. So for adjusting this, every time I need to tick the bubble off and tick the bubble on. If I go to level 2, I will find the same issues. So to avoid this one, it is better that you recreate the grid instead of adjusting it on all levels. So you just copy one grid and just take off your grid E and rename this as E. So you will find that perfect on all levels. Now let us create some geometry to understand what impact we face when we delete a level. So if we go to level 0, let us pick a wall, which is starting from level 0 and going up to level 1. So we have created these three walls and they are associated with level 0. So if you delete level 0, it will going to delete 9 elements and 3 views. So what are these? If you read, so it is saying that there are some floor plans, ceilings, some sun paths, some walls. So if I hit OK, you see it is deleting your elements. Let's suppose I wants to keep these walls, but I don't want to have this level 0. So I'll pick all the elements, I'll reassociate. Let's suppose I'll associate with level 1 and they'll start 4 meter below level 0. So it is still there, but if I delete the level now, still going to delete the level but keep the walls. Now you will understand why levels and grids are so important in Revit. Sometimes in your project, you will find that you wants to adjust the extent of level in one view, but it is messing in all the views. The reason, if you pick one of the levels, it is saying it is 3D, which means it is connected to the 3D extent of the level. So if within this level, I want to adjust level 3 somewhere in between grid 2 and 3, I'll going to change the 3D to 2D. Now you see its right extent of the level is not locked with any other levels, and also it's just a 2D extent. So if I'll adjust this one, it will not going to affect other views. So let us go and check the south elevation. And you see in south elevation, it is perfectly fine. So let's suppose if I wants to adjust level 2 in south elevation, I'll do the same. Let us do on the other side. So this has just updated the 2D extent of level 2 within the view south. And if I go to north, it is still fine. The same way it works For grid, let us go to one of the plan. Let's suppose we want to trim these level 4 and 5 grids somewhere at grid C and D. So I'll pick grid 4. I'll change its extent from 3D to 2D. I'll drag it. Same I'll do for grid 5. Now you see I have adjusted grid 4 and 5, and if I go to level 2, because this was just a 2D extent modification, level 2 and level 3 will going to show the extent of grid 4 and 5 beyond grid E. Now if you want to adjust grid 4 and 5 in all levels to the same extent, let us go to level 1. We pick this and we pick their 3D extent. So now if you will go to level 2, you will find it has been updated here also in both level 2 and level 3. Hope this tutorial has helped you in understanding levels and grids in Revit. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.